بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم ربنا أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم أرنا حقائق الأشياء كما هي ربنا زدنا علما وعملا وإخلاصا يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر أولياءك في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. اللهم انصرهم على عدوك وعدوهم إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم فرج عنا وعن إخواننا في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. اللهم نفس كربنا وكربهم وثبت أقدامنا وأقدامهم والطف بنا وبهم يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم احفظ دولة الإسلام في إيران. اللهم احفظ دولة الإسلام في إيران. اللهم احفظ دولة الإسلام في إيران. اللهم احفظ دولة الإسلام في إيران وفي أفغانستان وفي اليمن وفي كل مكان. وصل وسلم على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم عليه. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. Okay, so nature as the subject of science is highly artificial affair, because according to him science sectionalizes nature, and different branches of science study nature, different sections of nature separately. So in that sense, nature as the subject of science is a highly artificial affair. But it is also artificial in the sense that those sections of nature are studied with a specific purpose. And that purpose is to understand the laws which govern those parts of nature in order to be able to manipulate the nature or maneuver the nature or dominate the nature. But it is also artificial in the sense that the study of nature within a controlled experience or controlled environment. So abstracting nature from its context in order to understand how we can manipulate nature or maneuver nature or control over nature. In all these senses, it is artificial. So nature as a subject of science is a highly artificial, and this artificiality is the result of that science and this artificiality is the result of that selective process to which science must subject her, that is nature, in the interest of precision. Not just in the interest of precision, the interest of domination, really. The moment you put the subject of science in the total of human experience, you begin to disclose a different character, subject of science, that is nature. The moment you put the subject to science in the total, put the subject of science in the total of human experience, meaning when you try to understand nature without artificially abstracting it from its context, it begins to disclose a different character. I mean, in general, whatever subject you approach, study, there are various things which determine how it will disclose itself to you. And I think it's important, the interest or the purpose in the context of which you approach that subject. Secondly, the concepts are very important you use in order to understand that subject. Because among the many functions of concept is they reveal to you or help you focus on aspects of reality which without these concepts would have escaped you. And it means that the nature of concepts at least partially determine how reality would disclose itself to you. Now, people talk about facts, but facts are, whatever fact means, they are constant in the sense that the reality is rich enough that within its factual capacity as a whole, it reveals itself differently to different interests and different concepts. So that's the most important thing, I think. Okay. So the religion which demands that the whole of reality, and for this reason must occupy a central place in any synthesis of all the data of human experience, has no reason to be afraid of any sectional views of reality. So it's not just the sectional view of reality, as I said. It's the purpose for which you approach a reality. the set of interests with which you approach a reality and the concepts which you use in order to understand the reality. And in that sense, whatever religion is, religion has totally different purpose and totally different interests and uses totally different concepts as compared to science. So thus religion which demands that the whole reality and for this reason must occupy central place in any synthesis of all data of human experience has no reason to be afraid of any sectional views of reality. So those views are not just sectional views, but they are views which are predetermined by particular interests and purposes and disclosed within a set of particular concepts. So if you have different interests and purposes and different concepts you use in order to approach the same sectional aspect of nature, you will get different things. So thus religion which demands the whole of reality and for this reason must occupy a central place in any synthesis of the whole data of human experience. So, and it's not that a religion tries to synthesize so different views of religions here. So it's not that religion synthesizes these sectional views. I mean, there can be a religion, secular religion, which does that. But Islam, for example, approaches nature with a totally different set of concepts and purpose and interests. For example, as a sign of God. As a symbol of his greatness, for example. If you approach nature in that, with that perspective, you will approach nature totally differently and you will get totally different results. So it's not just a question of synthesis.